There comes a moment in life when a decision must be made. A decision that will shape not only who you are today, but who you will become for the rest of your life. That decision is simple in words but profound in consequence. Will you be ruled by the chaos of the world, or will you rule yourself? Every day, the noise around you grows louder. The demands, the distractions, the fears, the expectations, they swirl like an unending storm. Most people are tossed about by it, pulled in directions they never chose, reacting to every gust of wind, every flash of lightning, every shift in the tide. But there is another path. That path is not found in running from the storm. It is found in becoming the unshakable presence within it. This is the essence of true mastery. It is not about controlling the world. It is about controlling the one thing that has always been within your reach, your own mind. When the mind is disciplined, the external world loses its power over you. Insults cannot pierce you. Setbacks cannot defeat you. Temptations cannot sway you. The winds may rage, the waves may crash, but you remain anchored, steady, and unbroken. The philosophy behind this mastery is not soft. It does not promise comfort. It does not flatter you with empty affirmations. It demands that you face reality exactly as it is, without denial, without distortion, without the sugarcoating that keeps so many trapped in weakness. It tells you that your mind is your fortress, and if you fail to guard it, you will be conquered not by others, but by yourself. The greatest enemy is not out there. It is the untrained, undisciplined mind within. Every obstacle you encounter in life is an opportunity in disguise. Every hardship is a forge. Every challenge a sharpening stone. While others curse the difficulty, the one who chooses mastery welcomes it, not because pain is pleasant, but because pain is the most honest teacher you will ever meet. In the fire of struggle, you discover what you are made of. In the weight of responsibility, you build the strength to carry more. And in the stillness of reflection, you learn that no one can take away your ability to choose how you respond. To live this way is to strip away the illusions that enslave the masses. Most people live as if the world owes them comfort, fairness, and understanding, but the world owes nothing. It simply is. The sooner you stop wishing for it to be different, the sooner you can start using it exactly as it is to grow into someone unstoppable. Every insult becomes a test of composure. Every setback becomes a test of persistence. Every temptation becomes a test of discipline. And every single moment is a chance to practice the art of mastery. Do not mistake this strength for coldness. Mastery is not the absence of feeling, it is the command over feeling. It is knowing that you can feel deeply without being enslaved by those feelings. It is the ability to stand in joy without clinging to it, and to stand in pain without collapsing under it. This balance, this centeredness is not given. It is built day by day through choice after choice. This is why so few ever attain it. It requires vigilance. It requires self-honesty. It requires the courage to face truths that are uncomfortable and to act on them without hesitation. But for those who walk this path, the reward is freedom. Freedom from being tossed by the opinions of others. Freedom from being destroyed by failure. Freedom from the false belief that happiness depends on circumstances. The question is not whether the storm will come. It will. The question is not whether you will be tested. You will. The question is, when the storm rages and the test arrives, will you be the one who stands firm while others are swept away? Will you be the calm in the chaos? The clarity in the confusion, the strength in the weakness? The choice is in front of you now. You can continue to live at the mercy of the world, letting it dictate your every rise and fall. Or you can choose to take back the power that has always been yours. The power to think, the power to choose, the power to rise above. This is the moment where you stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the architect of your destiny. This is where the transformation begins, not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. The storm will not wait for you to prepare. The challenges will not pause until you are ready. You must decide today, in this very breath, that nothing outside of you will ever again dictate the state of the world within you. That is the essence of mastery. That is the unshakable power you are capable of claiming. And once you claim it, nothing, no force, no person, no hardship, will ever own you again. But there is a hard truth that many refuse to face. Most of what happens in life is beyond your control. You cannot control the weather, the economy, the opinions of strangers, the loyalty of friends, or the turning of fortune. You cannot stop the world from changing, from throwing obstacles in your path, or from blindsiding you when you least expect it. But there is one thing, one power, that remains yours entirely, no matter the chaos outside, your response. This is where true strength begins. Weakness is wasting energy on what cannot be changed. Power is focusing everything you have on what is within your grasp. Every time you dwell on the uncontrollable, you give away your strength. You hand over your peace to circumstances that never asked for your permission in the first place. But when you train your mind to turn instantly toward what can be done, you reclaim the only real power you ever had, the power to act. Think of life as two circles. The first is the circle of control, the small but mighty space where your choices, your discipline, your words, and your actions live. The second is the circle of concern, everything you care about but cannot directly change. The mistake most people make is pouring all their energy into that second circle. They rage at politics, complain about the market, resent the behavior of others, and wish the world were different, all while ignoring the one thing they could actually shape, themselves. The wise focus on the first circle. They know that to spend even a minute on the uncontrollable is to throw away a minute of life. And minutes are not cheap. They are pieces of existence you will never get back. You cannot add more to the clock, but you can choose where every second is invested. When you spend it on what you can change, your life compounds in power. When you waste it on what you cannot, you are left with nothing but frustration and regret. Control is not about dominating everything around you. It is about mastering the small realm that is yours entirely. You cannot command the wind, but you can set your sails. You cannot dictate the path of the storm, but you can strengthen your ship. And once you accept this truth, you stop being dragged helplessly across the ocean of life. You start steering. Every day you will be tempted to fight battles that do not belong to you. You will hear words meant to provoke you. You will see events meant to shake you. You will face people whose choices will disappoint or enrage you. And in each of these moments, you will stand at a crossroads. Will you waste your force trying to move an immovable wall, or will you channel it toward the steps you can take right now? The difference between those who rise and those who fall is not luck, talent, or opportunity. It is the relentless discipline to focus only on what is actionable. The rest is noise. The rest is a trap. The rest is a slow drain of your willpower until you are too tired to do the very things that could change your life. The mind trained in this principle is unshakable. When the uncontrollable happens, as it always will, it does not spiral into despair or rage. It scans the situation, identifies the part that can be influenced, and acts on it immediately. There is no wasted breath on if only or it's not fair. Fairness is irrelevant. Effectiveness is everything. This focus creates a power others can feel. People will notice you are not easily rattled, that you move with purpose even in chaos. They will see that you are immune to the constant anxiety that eats away at those who live in the second circle, and they will either admire it or fear it. Either way, you will be untouchable, because your stability no longer depends on the shifting ground of the world outside. The truth is, the moment you stop trying to control everything, you begin to control yourself. And that is the highest form of control there is. The storms can rage, the winds can turn, the world can flip upside down, and yet you remain the captain of your own ship. That is not just discipline, that is freedom. So remember this, the faster you turn your attention away from what is beyond you and toward what is in your hands, the stronger you will become. Every wasted second on the uncontrollable is stolen from the life you could be building. Protect your time, protect your focus, protect your energy. They are the only resources that, once spent, can never be recovered. And when you give them only to what you can control, you become unstoppable. One of the most exhausting traps in life is the need to control not only our actions, but the results those actions produce. We labor, we strive, we pour our heart into something, and then, when the result is not what we imagined, we collapse into frustration, bitterness, or despair. This attachment to outcomes is a silent poison. It steals peace, it breeds anxiety, and it blinds you to the value of the process itself. Detaching from the outcome does not mean apathy, it does not mean laziness or a lack of ambition. It means working with complete commitment while refusing to chain your sense of worth, joy, or identity to results you cannot guarantee. The outcome is never fully in your hands. You can prepare perfectly and still lose. You can work tirelessly and still fail. You can plant the seed with care and still see the storm destroy the harvest. If your inner state is tied to these external results, your peace will be at the mercy of forces you do not control. The disciplined mind plays a different game. It focuses entirely on effort, skill, and integrity in the doing, not the uncertainty of the ending. It takes pride in what is controllable, the quality of the work, the strength of the discipline, the clarity of the intention. Once the action is taken, the outcome is released. Whether it soars or crashes is irrelevant to the satisfaction of having acted with full commitment. When you detach from the outcome, you also detach from fear. Fear thrives on what if. What if this fails? What if they reject me? What if I lose? But when you know that your peace is not dependent on success, those what ifs lose their grip. You stop asking, will this work? And start asking, am I giving my best? The first question is filled with anxiety. The second is filled with power. Detachment also sharpens performance. Those obsessed with results often choke under pressure. Their mind is so focused on winning or losing that they cannot fully engage with the moment. But the one who is free from outcome can act with total presence. They are not thinking about applause or criticism. They are thinking about execution. And when the mind is fully here, fully now, it performs at its highest potential. This principle also dismantles the ego's constant need for validation. Many people only feel good when others approve, when numbers rise, when applause is given. But these are fleeting, fragile rewards. The moment they disappear, so does the confidence. Detachment builds something unshakable, a sense of worth that comes from living in alignment with your values, regardless of the world's reaction. There is a paradox here. Those who detach from the outcome often achieve more than those who obsess over it. Why? Because they are not paralyzed by fear of failure. They take more risks, they recover faster from setbacks, and they maintain focus when others are drowning in self-doubt. To them, a loss is not the end. It is simply feedback, a lesson, another step in the process of mastery. Life is a field where you can control only two things: the seeds you plant and the care you give them. The weather, the pests, the soil conditions, these are beyond you. If you spend your days obsessing over the weather, you will neglect the planting. If you waste your nights worrying about what might destroy your crop, you will lose the energy to tend to it. But if you focus on the planting, the watering, the care, day after day, you will eventually see a harvest worth far more than the temporary satisfaction of a single win. When you detach from the outcome, you are no longer a slave to the timeline of results. Some things will take longer than you planned. Some will come faster. Some will never arrive at all. But none of these scenarios will have the power to derail your discipline or diminish your sense of purpose. The work itself becomes the reward. The act of showing up becomes victory. The consistency becomes its own form of success. The truth is, no one controls the outcome. Not entirely. The world is too complex, too unpredictable. But everyone controls their input. Everyone controls the level of effort they bring to the table. Everyone controls whether they act with courage, precision, and persistence. When you anchor your identity to that, you win no matter what happens. So release the grip you have on the finish line. It was never yours to hold. Fix your eyes instead on the steps you are taking right now. Pour yourself into them with such focus that when the result comes, whether it glitters or crumbles, you can stand tall, knowing you gave everything you had. That is freedom. That is peace. And it is the kind of strength the world cannot take from you. There is no greater battlefield than the one inside your own mind. Wars are fought in silence there, unseen by the world, yet the outcome of these battles decides the course of your life. Your emotions are powerful forces, capable of fueling your rise or ensuring your downfall. Anger can give you courage, or it can destroy everything you've built. Fear can sharpen your instincts, or it can paralyze you. Desire can inspire greatness, or it can chain you to endless dissatisfaction. The difference is never in the emotion itself. It is in who holds the reins. To master your emotions is not to suppress them. Suppression is weakness disguised as control. It is shoving feelings into a dark corner, pretending they aren't there, only for them to erupt later in destructive ways. Mastery is different. Mastery is the ability to feel everything without being ruled by anything. It is allowing anger to be present, but choosing not to lash out. It is feeling fear, but stepping forward anyway. It is noticing desire without letting it drag you into reckless action. This mastery begins with awareness. Most people are so fused with their emotions that they cannot tell where the feeling ends and they begin. The Stoic mind learns to step back. When anger rises, it observes it. When anxiety grips, it acknowledges it. This creates a space between the emotion and the action, a space where choice lives. In that space, you can decide, you can pause, you can ask, what serves me here? What serves the mission? What is the most disciplined move? That pause is where your life changes. When you do not control your emotions, someone else will. Manipulators thrive on those who react without thinking. Markets, media, politics all play on emotional triggers. If they can make you afraid, they can make you obedient. If they can make you angry, they can make you reckless. If they can make you desperate, they can make you dependent. Emotional mastery cuts the strings. You become immune to manipulation because no one can use your feelings against you. But this does not mean becoming cold or detached from life. A master of emotions feels deeply, perhaps more deeply than anyone else, because nothing needs to be hidden or denied. Joy is savored without fear of losing it. Love is expressed without desperation. Pain is acknowledged without collapse. This is the paradox. The more you can control your emotions, the more fully you can experience them. The path to mastery is built on discipline. It is training yourself to respond, not react. It is practicing stillness when you want to explode. It is breathing slowly when panic rises. It is asking questions when your ego demands instant judgment. These skills are not built in comfort. They are forged in moments where everything in you screams to act impulsively. And each time you resist that impulse, you grow stronger. There is also power in reframing. The emotion itself is not the enemy. Your interpretation of it often is. Anger can be a signal that a boundary has been crossed. Fear can be a sign that you are stepping into growth. Sadness can point to something you value deeply. When you view emotions as information instead of commands, they stop controlling you and start guiding you. Consider this truth. If you cannot master yourself, the world will master you. If your mood depends on the behavior of others, you are a puppet. If your focus depends on whether life is comfortable, you are fragile. But if you can hold your center when you are insulted, rejected, or overlooked, if you can keep your clarity when faced with chaos, you have stepped into a realm few ever reach. This is not about perfection. Even the strongest will feel the pull of emotion, but mastery means the pull does not dictate the path. The tide may be strong, but the captain still holds the wheel. The wind may howl, but the sails are still set by choice. This is the discipline that allows you to move forward with precision when others are tossed aimlessly by every wave. Your emotions are tools. In untrained hands, they are weapons that turn against you. In disciplined hands, they become the fuel for your highest purpose. When you learn to master them, you do not eliminate them, you align them. Anger becomes focus. Fear becomes alertness. Desire becomes ambition. And you, the one in control, remain unmoved by the storms while using their energy to move closer to your goal. A life without values is a ship without a compass, easily swayed, easily lost, and at the mercy of every shifting wind. Without a set of clear principles to live by, you will bend to the opinions of others, chase fleeting desires, and find yourself endlessly pulled in directions you never intended to go. But when your values are clear, the path becomes unshakable. Decisions become easier because every choice is weighed against the foundation you have built for yourself. Values are not words you write down once and forget. They are not lofty ideals to be displayed only when convenient. They are the daily, sometimes difficult, commitments that define who you are when no one is watching. They are the boundaries you refuse to cross, even when no one would know. They are the standard you hold yourself to, even when the world would accept less. The strength of your life depends on the strength of your values. If they are vague, you will be easily manipulated. If they are negotiable, you will be easily corrupted. But if they are clear and unwavering, they will act as both shield and sword, protecting you from what does not belong in your life and guiding you toward what does. Living by your values means accepting that not everyone will approve. In fact, the stronger your principles, the more resistance you will face. People will question you, mock you, and tempt you to compromise. They will call you rigid, stubborn, or unrealistic. But those same people deep down will respect you for being unmovable in a world that constantly bends. Values are proven in moments of pressure. It is easy to say you value honesty until telling the truth costs you something. It is easy to say you value discipline until laziness whispers for just one day off. It is easy to say you value courage until fear stands in your path. These are the moments that test whether your values are merely beliefs or whether they are the law you live by. To live by your values, you must first know what they are. Strip away the noise, the trends, the borrowed beliefs from family or culture. Ask yourself, what matters to me more than comfort? What matters to me more than approval? What matters to me more than gain? The answers to those questions form the foundation of your personal code. And once that code is set, it becomes your compass for every decision, large or small. This clarity removes hesitation. When you know your values, you do not need to debate endlessly with yourself about what to do. The answer is already written in your code. You act not out of impulse, but out of alignment. And with every aligned choice, you reinforce your identity. You become someone whose actions match their words, whose life matches their ideals. Living by your values also frees you from comparison. You no longer measure your worth by the standards of others because your standard is already set. You are not swayed by trends, because you are anchored in something deeper. You are not easily lured by shortcuts, because your path is guided by principles, not convenience. This is the path of integrity, walking in such alignment with your values that you could be placed under 1,000 spotlights and never fear what they would reveal. Not because you are flawless, but because you have refused to betray your own code. That kind of life is rare, and that rarity is its power. And here is the truth. The world does not need more people who can adapt to anything. It needs more people who stand for something. Adaptability is useful, but without a core, it turns into shapelessness. You cannot build a fortress on shifting sand. You cannot build a legacy on values that crumble under pressure. Your values are the roots of your life. Deep roots weather the storm. Shallow roots are ripped out and scattered at the first strong wind. If you want to stand firm in a world that tests you daily, you must grow roots so deep that nothing can pull you from the ground you have chosen. So decide who you are, not in theory, but in action. Write your code, live it without apology, let it guide you when you are unsure, protect you when you are tempted, and strengthen you when you are tested. Because when your values are clear and your actions align with them, your life stops being something that happens to you and starts being something you have built with intention and unshakable strength. That most people see hardship as a curse, as something to avoid, resent, or complain about. But those who live with discipline and strength see it differently. They understand that hardship is not an enemy, it is a teacher. It is not a punishment, it is preparation. Every difficulty you face is shaping you for something greater. And the sooner you accept this truth, the sooner you will stop resisting the very thing that can transform you. Hardship is the weight room of life. Just as muscles grow only when pushed beyond their comfort zone, your mind, your character, and your spirit grow only when tested by challenge. Without resistance, you become weak. Without discomfort, you stay soft. Without trials, you remain unprepared for the moments that truly matter. The strength you wish for cannot come from ease. It must be forged in the fire of difficulty. When you train your mind to see hardship as training, everything changes. The setbacks that once made you bitter now make you sharper. The failures that once broke your confidence now build your resilience. The obstacles that once made you stop now make you push harder. Each hardship becomes a drill. Each loss becomes a lesson. And each disappointment becomes a demand to rise higher than before. The truth is, life will not ask your permission before testing you. It will place weight on your shoulders, whether you are ready or not. You can choose to collapse under it, or you can choose to treat it like training, to push against it, to build under its pressure, to use it as fuel. Every time you do, you expand your capacity. And the greater your capacity, the more you can carry, the more you can endure, and the more you can achieve. There is no growth in avoiding difficulty. The path of least resistance is a path of slow decay. The comfort zone may feel safe, but it is the place where your potential goes to die. Hardship forces you to stretch, to adapt, to innovate. It strips away illusions and reveals what you are truly capable of. And often, it shows you that you are capable of far more than you ever believed. This is not to say hardship is pleasant. It will hurt. It will exhaust you. It will push you to question yourself, your abilities, even your purpose. But those moments of doubt are where the training does its deepest work. Just as a blade is sharpened by friction, your will is sharpened by the grind. And the sharper you become, the more precise and effective you are in everything you do. The key is to shift your perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? What skill is it forcing me to develop? What weakness is it demanding I strengthen? These questions turn you from a passive victim into an active participant in your own growth. Over time, this mindset makes you dangerous in the best way possible. While others crumble under pressure, you become stronger. While they avoid challenges, you seek them out. While they run from pain, you run toward the growth it brings. And because of this, life begins to respect you, not by giving you fewer challenges, but by giving you the strength to face greater ones. One day, you will look back on your hardest seasons and see them for what they were, the moments that made you. You will realize that the victories you value most were born from struggles you once wished would end. And you will understand that the discomfort you hated was the training you needed. So, the next time hardship appears at your door, do not waste your energy cursing it. Welcome it, step into it, treat it as the test that will make you unshakable. Because once you have been trained by difficulty, there is little in this world that can stop you. You will have learned the truth that so many never see. Comfort is temporary, but the strength built through hardship lasts for life.